What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and you're watching our SEC football channel. Tennessee finished 2019 as one of the hottest teams in college football. Despite losing to BYU and Georgia State early in the season, this team really got it turned around. The schedule wasn't that bad. BYU is their toughest non-conference game out of the West. Of course, they play Alabama every year. They played Alabama and Mississippi State. So the schedule set up for them to have a good year. And if you take out the Georgia State game and the BYU game, this Tennessee team gets to 10 wins. 10 wins last season. The 2020 schedule, how does it look? Can they maybe do something even better this year and maybe win those types of games and get to 10 wins? Well, the non-conference schedule, I think, definitely is going to be tougher because there you see week 2 on the road at Oklahoma. Going to be tough. So they started the season off with Charlotte on September the 5th. That's a game that they absolutely should win. They have no business losing that game. But go back to last year, Georgia State. They had no business losing that game, and they did. Don't want to look ahead to Oklahoma. We know it's possible. It could happen. So take care of business in that game if you're Tennessee, because on September 12th, they go on the road to face Oklahoma in what could be, I would say, a program-changing win if they can get it. If they can go on the road and beat Oklahoma, you're talking about knocking off a team that has been making the college football playoff pretty much every year on the road, showing everyone that this Tennessee team has arrived. If they're able to win that game, Tennessee's going to be a top 15, maybe even top 10 team. So the opportunity is there to show that the second half of last year was no fluke. This is a good football team. Can they get it done? Easier said than done. Oklahoma expected to be really good once again this season. On September 19th, they play Furman. And going back to the Oklahoma game, I think it would go a long way for this program if they're just able to compete in that game. If they can just keep it to 2 scores maybe, I think that'll help things to show that, hey, we can at least compete with the best teams. So keep that in mind there if you're a Tennessee fan. Maybe you don't win it, but if you could just keep it close, you could show what this program is capable of doing. But on September 19th, they play Furman, and then they open up SEC play on September 26th against Florida. And it's another big opportunity. You got a chance to take down one of the top 2 contenders in the East. You get them at home early in the season. You could say, you could look at this schedule for Tennessee and say, man, they have to play Oklahoma and Florida in the first month of the season. Or you can say, look at the opportunity that Tennessee has. A chance to knock off a college football playoff contender. A chance to knock off one of the favorites in the East. And they get that game at home. So the opportunity definitely is there for Tennessee. But again, it's going to be very tough to pull off really either one of those wins, in my opinion. Missouri is on October the 3rd. They'll open up the month with that game. And then it's a road game against South Carolina on October 10th. I said in the South Carolina video that this is a big game for both teams. I think the winner of this game could go on to have a really good year, and the loser of this game might have a really disappointing year. One of those swing games. Tennessee, I think they really need to win that game on the road at South Carolina, because after that they play Alabama. They'll get a bye week before playing the Crimson Tide, but on October 24th, home game against Alabama. I mean, do they have a chance? Tennessee's been getting better. They played Alabama pretty tough last year, despite some things going against them. For the most part, they hung around a little bit in that game. Get them at home this year. No Tua this year. Tennessee, maybe could be a signature win. They've got these opportunities with Florida and Alabama both at home. Now they play Arkansas after that on Halloween, October 31st. So out of the West this year, they play Alabama and Arkansas. Arkansas probably the team that you want to play. And the way that schedule sets up, if you want to go on the road and play a team, it's Arkansas. Yeah, I think this team's capable of winning that game on the road. And then you get Alabama at home. So I really like the way the schedule sets up for them. Florida at home, Alabama at home. Kentucky is also at home on November 7th. Kentucky's going to be pretty good this year. That'll be a challenge, but they get them at home. Georgia on the road, this is where you may run into some trouble. Let's say Tennessee is off to a great start. They've only lost a couple of games. This is the game that could derail their season and keep them from having a ton of success, being a New Year's Six type team. Troy comes on November 21st, and then it's Vanderbilt on the road on November 28th. again, the way this schedule sets up, let's forget Oklahoma for a second, because that obviously makes the schedule much tougher. It's a road game against a really, really good team. Let's just forget that. Let's just talk about the way their SEC schedule sets up. If you got to play two teams on the road, who else would you rather play than Arkansas and Vanderbilt? Yeah, they play them on the road, but those are games that Tennessee can win. You get Florida, Alabama, Kentucky at home. South Carolina is a game that they are definitely capable of beating on the road. And then you get Missouri at home. This is a very favorable schedule the way it sets up. If you can pull off a big win at home against Florida or Alabama, it can be a season-changing win. And then Georgia, they're probably not going to beat them anyway, so they play them on the road. But who knows? We're going to find out how good this Tennessee team actually is once we get rolling in 2020. Find out if it was a fluke last year at the end of the season. Is this the team that we saw against Georgia State and against BYU, or is this the team we saw at the end of the year make a great comeback against Indiana? The schedule is tough, don't get me wrong, but the way they get some of these big games at home, I think it's a nice schedule for Tennessee, and it's an opportunity for them to have a really big year in 2020. Thank you for watching this video. If you're an SEC football fan, please subscribe to the channel. Leave us your thoughts down in the comments below. And for the latest in SEC football, keep it right here.